your plans after PhD?
Yeah, so I was planning to apply as a research scientist for a particular position, or just head a group of people in a lab. And parallelly also check if there are postdoc position available in neuroscience. But yeah, this question, it will take quite some
Yeah.
time to decide if I'm ready to do a postdoc yet or not. Yeah, but for now I would be aiming towards the research scientist position. Yeah.
And what are the tips that you would like to give to the new PhD students? So I guess we've talked a lot about these, but you can share your tips, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. While starting out fresh, it's really important to be systematic, and also kind of make a plan of how your PhD, in what direction it's going to take you in. It is hard initially to make this plan, so you can take your time and then devise your projects and so on. And it's very important to learn your maximum in the first year of PhD, because that's actually the time that you get you get to, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Would you just repeat about the sentence that you were saying, the second sentence, that it is very
Yeah.
important?
Yeah, it's important to invest your time in your first year to learn as much as you can, because first year is the time that you get maximum time to invest on learning a technique or trying to write a review article, for example, because you would be waiting initially for your projects to get approved, and maybe depending on the lab, as in my case, I had to pass an animal exam in the first 3 months, I think. So in that span, you can try to help out other PhD students and try to maybe write a review article or something. And in your first year, it's really nice to already think of the courses that you would like to take and things like that, I would say. And also, it's very important to know that don't hesitate to ask a fellow PhD student to know a research technique, because that's something almost everyone would be willing to help you, because they are quite busy in their projects. Maybe they also want someone to help them. So if you are interested in learning a technique, you can ask them. They'll show you once or twice, and then you can also go on and carry forward their part of the project. In fact, that would be very helpful both ways.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you also learn a technique, and you can also be a part of a project. And as I said before, I always go from a simple system to a complicated system for your research questions. That would really improve. Yeah. So these are the points the new students can.
Yeah, I mean, already it's a very, I mean, all the 3 points are very important. Would agree with definitely all the three of them, and especially being systematic. And in fact, like a lot of universities, they ask you to submit a research proposal.
Yeah.
In almost 6 months of in the beginning of your PhD, so because they also want to make sure that the students are taking it
Yeah.
um, I mean, in a fine way, and also that
Yeah.
their supervisor are helping them. So it's the way of the program coordinators to just see that the
Yeah.
supervisors and students are working together.
Yeah.
So
To be honest, I had to submit my first proposal of the first project in within first two months of my PhD.
I had 6 months for that.
So
Yeah.
of course, I would like to say, because yours is clinical experiments, and that will definitely take more time. But preclinical, I think your supervisors would ask you to start right away, because then the acceptance of the proposal will go parallelly with you passing the animal course and getting the license. So
I guess,
um,
it's a bit different because for us, the research proposal was just submitted by all the PhD students who are part of the graduate school.
okay.
So it was submitted to the coordinator, and the thesis committee members had to sign the proposal. So all the four thesis committee member in my case had to sign it. But it is just for the coordinators of the neuroscience program here at the University of Zurich to see that,
Yeah,
the supervisor and committee members agree with this project, and
yeah,
that I also, like, as a PhD student, understand what I'm going to do in my PhD. So
yeah,
that, I think, that was the reasoning behind it. But
yeah,
in your case, it seems different, and also I think it differs a lot in terms of what university it is and what type of study it is, as you mentioned. Yeah. Sorry,
exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah.
do in between.
Because the proposal that you submit in Netherlands is a bit different. You have a massive, huge proposal that's submitted, and many different kind of projects would come under it. And then these are different from model systems to model system, and the type of question that you answer. So probably the students will know only when they get an opportunity to work here and then understand the system, how it works. But indeed, the first month of PhD, you are asked to gain knowledge with respect to research papers and make a systematic search for your project, and then come up with ideas and then write the proposal. Of course, yeah, it goes that way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the aim is to just tell people that it depends a lot on
Yeah.
different factors, but it's
Yeah.
good to know what could be the possibilities too, because
Yeah.
nobody, I mean, I wouldn't know this if there was nobody to tell me about this.
Exactly.
These
Yeah.
are the things that are not mentioned outright. I mean, you have to literally have to search a lot, and I don't even know if such discussions are available. So,
Not really, I would say. These things are directly obtained from your supervisor.
yeah.
So, yeah, it's quite, yeah, that's why it's nice that you are making a video about this.
Thanks. And I'm
Um,
glad that you guys are contributing to it. So it's
um,
a very different experience, right? I mean, we are in different countries and we are
yeah,
doing our PhDs in very different departments, but still there are some overlaps, some differences. So it's good to
yeah.
tell people how it differs and what they then want to choose from.
Yeah. And it's really nice to use this PubMed tool when you are starting out with the PhD. Basically, when you want to get a whole array of your papers for systematic search or something, it's
Yes.
called mesh term.
Mhm. Yeah.
And that is a tool that maybe students can use. And it was very interesting for me to know about that and help me. Until now, it's helping me, the tool, for
Yeah.
finding papers. So that's
And all
the
the people in life sciences, I mean, if it's always good to know how to use PubMed.
yeah,
So that really helps in the whole literature search. Yeah.
yeah. The mesh term in PubMed is something that they
Yeah.
can really use. Yeah, yeah,
All right. So then we move on to the next question. So what are the things that should be kept in mind while applying for a PhD position?
yeah. So first, already maybe when you are in your second year of master, you would, or starting the second year of master, you would have an idea whether you want to move into a research stream or a management stream already. And now, if you want to move into a research stream, the students have to really thoroughly read about the laboratories that they would be applying to, the equipments that a lab has basically, and read about the professors and how their publications have been in the last 5 years or so.
Mhm.
And because you have the available stats or something for every laboratory, and they can really go through that and go through the publications. So equipments, publications of the professors, and if they are mentally ready to invest 4 years in management of your project time, and also yourself, if you are able to do that. Because I have seen PhD students who really have they degenerate, like their mental and physical health is deteriorating, but they invest a lot of time on just the PhD aspect, and so you need to really be ready for work-life balance basically in your 4 years. Are you ready for it? Can you do it? And also, since you have to work with several committees in one lab and also maybe collaborate in future, you need to really know if you have good communication skills, because that is extremely essential, because in the end your supervisors and other supervisors of other labs are in the end just human beings. The first impression that you give them is the way you approach them, and most of your PhD is also collaboration, I would say. So yeah, so these are the things that they need to keep in mind, and if they are ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just want to shed a light. I mean, not shed a light, but in fact, like just add my viewpoint here is that
Yeah.
I really like the aspect of communication skills. So, I mean, all of us fear this thing that, we have to go present. None of us, like even all the expert speakers, they
Yeah.
have like practiced 100 times in front of the mirror or have done their share of practices before the presentations. Even like all the famous scientists whom we think are the ones who are like speaking amazingly, yet these like when you talk to them in person, or if you know them in person, then you would get to know that how much of practice underwent through that. So whenever given an opportunity to present something in your field, don't shy away from it. Rather, make it a habit that you make sure that you go for these presentations. And it's not just about you presenting your topic. It's also about when you go to these conferences, when you're sitting as an audience, having the courage to ask questions is something that would still initiate these small things in you where your communication skills will develop. And
Definitely.
this
Yeah.
really also shows you that how much you believe in yourself, because if you think that your question is silly, and if you can't ask it in front of 50 people or just 10 people in your lab, then
Yeah.
how would you expect to share your whole PhD research project in front of the 100 people or 200 people,
Yeah.
right? Or in future, if you have to be a scientist, then you have to show your
Yeah.
research work to the media, you have to show your research work to the
Yeah.
other scientists. Then
Definitely.
you need to like actually prepare yourself from
Yeah.
now on.
Yeah.
So don't really shy away from these things. And communication skills are something that's nobody's born with, so we learn this subsequently. So make sure that you practice multiple times. If it's your first presentation, uh, say it out loud to your friend, make them
Yeah.
sit, explain it
Yeah.
to them, talk to your family member, tell them that you have this presentation to make, you want to tell them what it is about, so that
Yeah.
once you tell them, then you feel more comfortable
Yeah.
about it, and
Yeah.
then it becomes much easier. So your brain starts accepting that, yeah, you're doing fine and you can do it even in front of the others.
Yeah.
So,
And just to support your point on asking questions, it's always really something to look up for, even by supervisors. When you ask them questions during, in my case, it's a Monday morning presentation of our group. So when the professors, really supervisors, they really like when students approach them with questions, even if it's a small question, you can ask it, because uh, they can make you feel heard towards them, like they know you then by your name, and they know that then you are enthusiastic and you are approaching them. They actually like it, professors. They wouldn't show it, but yes, indeed, that makes a mark on uh, on yourself, on them. Yeah.
yeah.
So it's really nice. Yeah, you have to ask questions, even if it's small. Just ask. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Making questions would also improve, that gives them an insight of the way you think,
Yes.
if you're analytical or it would give your supervisors who are present a sense that yes, the student that we've chosen is indeed insightful and analytical. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that
At
really
the same
helps.
time, it expands your analytical thinking because let's say somebody presented about something that you don't know at all. So then you try to probably connect it with what you are working on, or if it is something that you've read in the past. So
Yeah,
then, you're trying to actually like challenge your brain with this exercise. So it is
yeah,
a very interesting way to formulate things in your brain and yeah, put them forward.
yeah, definitely.